Ah, yeah. I have no idea if this is working or not. Let's see, let's see. Guess we'll see if chat is going to happen. Hello, if you can hear me. I don't even know. Am I online? Let me check. Oh shit. There he is. It's working. Hey Ryan, how's it going, man? First time stream. What's up, Matt? I'm trying to see now if, so I'm not like looking at my phone all the time. Just trying to see if chat will pop up in this software that I'm using. So I think it's only showing me the Twitch stuff. And I have like no Twitch followers whatsoever. Let's open up another window of you beautiful Valhalla sausages. Take these out. 5% less douche. Do. Beautiful ongoing Valhalla sausages. Take these out. 5% less douche. Do. Beautiful ongoing Valhalla sausages. Take these out. 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. Do. Beautiful ongoing Valhalla sausages. Okay, so it has take these connected. Out. So we are 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. Do. It would be nice to see chat. Valhalla sausages. Keep on looking at my phone. Okay, so it has take these out. That may be. So we are 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. Do. Soda with creative. It would be nice to see chat. Valhalla sausages. Keep on looking at my phone. Okay, so it has take these out. That may be. So we are 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. All right, let's have a look. Soda with creative. It would be nice to see chat. Valhalla sausages. Okay, so it has take these out. That may be. Oh, I can see 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. All right, let's have a look. Soda with creative. It would be nice to see chat. Valhalla sausages. Okay, so it has take these out. That may be. Oh, I can see 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. Type something in chat. Soda with creative. It would be nice to see chat. Valhalla sausages. Okay, so it has take these out. That may be. Oh, I can see 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. Type something in chat. Soda with dude, it would be nice to see chat. There's no chat. Sausage on chat. Okay, so it has. All right, take these out. So maybe. Oh, I can see 5% less douche. Bear with me, my lovelies. Hello, people. Type something in chat. Soda with. Oh, it would be nice to see chat. There's no chat. Sausage on chat. Okay, so it has. Can you hear me now? Echo, echo, echo. Testing. How does it sound now? Can you hear me at all? Ah, shit. How is it echoing? I'm sorry, guys. This is the first time I've opened the software. I'm good now. Okay, I had the desktop audio on, so I have a feeling that that might impact me in the future. So, okay, I'm seeing the chat too. It's a bit delayed. So let's have a look at you, beautiful bastards. Oh, I shouldn't swear this early in. We got Mike, we got Ryan, we got Avi, we got Jan, or Jan, we got Frickerson, Avi, Ma, we got Ryan, lost for words. Valhalla Sausages does need to be made into a metal song. And Is it me? All right. Since we're chatting, is it me or is it got old for me, the Nordic thing, the Viking thing, with it was already cringe when you think about the earliest times, right? The earliest times where you have Man of War and that type of thing. It was cringe for me then. Even go back just as far. Can anyone remember Thor? And he's like a sketchy looking He-Man type of dude. But yeah, it's just got worse and worse. And it seems to be the black metal as well of really gripped hold of the swords in the forest and the chainmail and the this and the that, and it was cringe from the start, and I can't with the crowds rowing and stuff like that. I'm just allergic to all fun. I think that's what it is. So what's going on? Oh, I know what I did. I'm an idiot. All right, can you hear me now? My volume is low. Ah, all right. Check, check, check. We come from the land of ice and snow. I'm in Florida and I want ice and snow. I'm so sick of this beautiful weather. I'm too fat for the heat. So is the audio low? Is it low or I can turn it up? Speak to me. Can you hear me? Dude, the chat is going crazy here, and then on my main thing that I'm looking at, it's frozen. How about I just do that? Put it closer to my stupid face, huh? All right. As long as you guys can hear me, as long as you guys can see me, I noticed that one of my lights has gone out already. Volume is fine. All right. I'll tweak it. I've got a there is something that I could do with these live streams where I've actually got an amp on right now. I'll have to do some jiggering with the my inputs because I got like 3 mics going into this, where I could do like live tone recreations. So because I have a lot of notes on a lot of bands, really, and I could go through all my notes and I could set it up here between all these amps that I've got, and we could do it on the fly. I'd set up the amps beforehand. But right now, I found something interesting where I was gonna do old Thin Lizzy and specifically the Johnny the Fox era, but I also like a bit of Gary Moore solo wise, and I know he joined a little bit. Was it later than that? But was it before? I can't. I'm not a huge follower of their stuff. I'm just obsessed with that one album, Johnny the Fox. So I could actually set up. Let me see. Let's see if I can play some Gary Moore and Parisian Walkways is the song. Let's see if we can try that. Yeah, so my chat has died in on my main screen, so I'm gonna have to because I'd love to say hello to all of you and say what's up. Need to more cowbell. I need your take on this. I think Machine Gun Kelly and these TikTok pop punkers are more of a rock star than anyone in the underground. Very interesting, because the underground right now, right? Now there's obviously the deathcore is in its second phase, and I mean deathcore just died. It just died. And then obviously we get grunting and snorting, and it goes viral on YouTube, then it goes viral on TikTok. And so, you know, deathcore isn't dying, metalcore's coming back. So essentially now we're going to have another, all the guitar bots, the ones that go and copy whatever is trending, they're going to start trying to be, it's going to be regurgitating all the goddamn YouTube vocal tutorials. They're all going to come across. You remember those things we used to make fun of 10 years ago? Where you'd have some, sketchy half emo kids trying to teach you how to pig squeal and to do the inward screaming and all that stuff. We're going to go round two, as if it wasn't lame enough the first time. And as usual, they're not going to get as good as the originators, right? So we've got another deathcore craze coming around the corner. There's also, if you want to talk about underground, and if you talking about the question about Machine Gun Kelly and everybody just basically doing the Paramore pop punk style era. Now there's something good going on in the hardcore underground, right? There's some good bands popping up like Gel. But again, even though the scene is getting better in undercore, there's this, it's kind of like a really good healthy scene. But still they're copying. So why is Machine Gun Kelly different to all these so-called undergrounders in the underground just copying the old New York hardcore scene? Copying it, like absolutely no adding nothing interesting to it apart from sounding like old New York hardcore. So I see Machine Gun Kelly is just as lame as the black metal bots, just as actually Machine Gun Kelly at least he's getting people into it, I suppose, like a gateway drug. But I think he's careful what he asked for, because he is getting so much, he's getting trolled so badly. I mean, he must be a glutton for punishment being a white boy going into the rap game, because then you're going to get, also, you're going to get bottles thrown at you for that. And then now he's going into pop punk, which fair play, he's a good drummer, he's a good guitarist. And his singing is okay, and his songwriting is, but he's doing his damn thing. So I don't separate him, Machine Gun Kelly, I don't separate him from so-called brutal black metal kids, because to me they're on the same level of just being fanboys of certain types of music, and they are trying to, jump on the bandwagon, So yeah, I'm just desperate. I am beyond desperate. I want not even a scene. I'm so sick of scenes. I'm so sick of deathcore scene and the black metal bots and the it's just like, can we have bands popping out from nowhere? Like, I don't want everybody to be like it's impossible to be like a brand new Voivod, like how original Voivod was, with their image and their artwork, and their lyrics were crazy, and they had a whole dimension, a whole new universe. I don't expect everybody to do that, but I just need somebody that isn't jumping on a bandwagon, and suggestions in the chat. I'll go through all the chat later on. I'll spin through it, and if you can suggest any bands that I'm a guitarist in YouTube land, right? I know about all the most of the stuff that's out there on the surface, on the popular guys, but there has to be some good young bands. Don't give me the old stuff, because people are giving me suggestions of new bands like Bring Me the Horizon, and they're in their 40 now. They get it all grey around the gills and everything. They are the closest things that we have to modern rock stars. All right. And to be honest, I think Sepaternal that is the only thing they've put out that I liked. And I was surprised that I liked it, because they've been you know, kind of, was it the death, emo core, deathcore type of alt, you know, I don't know how to call it, just malcore. Let's call it malcore. Because, but that album actually opened my eyes saying, holy shit, maybe it's because my favorite producer produced it. So, you know, maybe I got a little bit of bias in there because I gave it a good listen. So, yeah, so Machine Gun Kelly is just as lame as all the rest of the bots that are going to be. I'm not going to respect somebody who jumps on the new deathcore wagon. I'm not going to be impressed because it's almost like you're trying to pig squeal better than somebody else, and there's like a 10% difference between pig squeal to pig squeal. Is that going to make me, you know, my nipples go hard? No. All right, let me just check the chat to make sure that you can hear me and I'm still online and all that type of thing. Let's have a look. And chat's disappeared. How's it moved? Do. Yeah, suggest all the bands because I will go through them. Suggest me bands. I'm not doing this for you know, just to get interactions. I am desperate for young new bands that have something to say that isn't just another copy and paste clone of some band that, like with the deathcore thing. This is how funny it is, right? Deathcore's going to make a huge comeback now because of Lorna Shore and all that type of thing, right? So now we have a gestation period of all these guitarists opening up their Pro Tools and opening up their Cakewalk, and they're going to be really dialing this in for a couple of months. And we're going to have that. We're probably going to have by the end of the year 1,000 new albums of deathcore, right? All doing the same thing. So we got to put up with that. So, like, I mean, what? I'm so frustrated with it. That's what I'm saying. Please give me new bands. So we're gonna have to put up with that for a while. But think about it, right? Who's that YouTuber that does the comedy on the extreme music? Jared Dines. He and who's it, Boy for a Band? They took the piss out of this. Took the piss out of it. What, 5 years ago? Was it 5 years ago? Where they just basically had to make the most brutal breakdown. Or was it Jared or was it the other guy? What's his name? I don't know. It was Boy for a Band and some YouTube guitarist, Rob Scallon, is it? I think it was Rob Scallon. And they're coming out with the heaviest breakdown of all time. How long ago was that where they were taking the piss out of the vocals, of the guttural pig squeal and low vocals, where they would basically put a microphone on the garbage disposal and run it, or it sounds like water going down the drain. They were taking the piss out of this. That's how much the shark had jumped over this genre, right? Where you had YouTubers with loads of followers that had already sang that type of style and they were making fun of it. And now, like 5 years later, we're going to go through another fucking batch of YouTube singers and oh my God, kill me. So yeah, let's have a look. See. So am I still going? Can you still hear me? Everything good? Nick Nocturnal. Nick Nocturnal. That guy is. I wish I loved his scene as much as he did. He's still reacting to breakdowns and that type of thing. I mean, I got a lot of flack, right, for me going up against black metal because, in my opinion, black metal has ruined the underground for years. When you think about it, black metal has gone 35 years, all right, of trem picking, anguish screams, and blast beats, right? I've been listening to him for 35 years, all right? I'd like to see what he will be like with metalcore and deathcore and, you know, all the new bands that are coming out reacting to it. Step 15 years, let's say he's been in it for 10 years. Give him another 20 years of it and see how he reacts. he'll be beyond jaded. So I just wish that I still had that, fresh feeling about these styles of metal, man. So I kind of envy him, and I think he is a really patient YouTuber, because sometimes I've watched his streams and I've looked at the chat and the rest of it, and he gets a lot of shit. But yeah, and he's good. He loves what he does. He's good at what he does. I think he embraces the meme, because you do have to, if you understand that the music has, become a little bit of a meme, then at least he's got a really good sense of humor about it. Nick Nocturnal, he's good. He's very good quality streams and YouTube videos. I'm loving all these suggestions. There's some good bands in there too. So yeah, my subs know what the fuck is going on. Just having a look at the comments. Stevie T. Now Stevie T, right? Again, how long has he been going? And when he started, he was playing and memeing on this new genre that's come around called deathcore and metalcore. How long has he been going at it? Oh, and now you've got all these teenagers finding out this new thing, which they're going to copy, because nobody actually has any life experience. They only experience life through the internet, and they monkey see, monkey do. Monkey look at my channel, monkey look at Ola's channel to find out how to sound like Dime or whatever, and then they become that, So yeah, Stevie T, I feel bad for him, because he's getting lots of people saying that he's had sketchy adverts on his videos and he's targeting kids and the rest of it. But he's just been churning away at the same, he's been semi-comedian, he's been slightly edgy and the rest of it. But if you're going to come at him with some of the allegations that have been thrown at him, it's not good enough for me. I feel bad for him. You've got to have something really, really obviously sketchy on him to convince me that he's a bad person. I think he's fine. He's fine. I think he's relatively funny. And when he dresses up as a girl, a few drinks, maybe he can have it. Let's have a look at the chat. Nick Nocturnal is annoying. We're all fucking annoying, dude. I mean, who's perfect out there that does metal stuff, on YouTube? We're all, jaded, broken animals. Black metal to me is beautiful. It connects with you, nature, for instance. What's funny is I got told down a bit with my black metals for poses video. Speaking of nature, if I see one more black metal video that starts with some twat wearing armor trudging through the forest with a frozen lake in the background, I will fucking scream. Oh my God, I'm so done with it. Enough with the nature. Yeah, fucking enough with the Vikings, enough with the goddamn, yeah. Where I sometimes chuckle to myself watching them, right? Where you've got these dark, brooding, Nordic. They got their fur. They got some good shit sometimes, leather and fur and swords, and their faces are muddied and blackened, and they're trudging through. I would just like to see all the hot, Swedish snow bunnies that are walking past them on the trail when they go into wherever their video shoot is, to whatever frozen fucking waterfall, where you got all the ski bunnies and everything walking past them in their pink ski outfits and everything, and they're giving them a little bit of a wide berth. And I bet you any money, when they're on their way to that video shoot, they're a bunch of fucking nerds. They got the best cameras. They're all going there, and they're going to be looking down, going past all the beautiful people, looking down the fucking incels they are, and then they'll start doing their little fucking slashing through the woods routine again on camera as if they're cool. I don't know, it's just me. And what else we got? Yep. Yeah, black metal is the reason I attack black metal so much is because it has, like on the Matrix, where you got Agent Smith, is it? And he's basically taken over everybody. That's what black metal did to the underground. So you had all these bands with potential, and a lot of bands go extreme, and they say, how can I be as extreme as possible? And obviously they're going to Google it because there's nothing really, they check out extreme music, and that's the first thing that pops up. So it's being black metal bots are just chewing up all talent. There's some amazing guitarists, amazing vocalists, people with actual charisma, right? And it's literally two-dimensional black and white face paint. You can't see what their lyrics have to be a certain way because they have to be the old ways or the darkness of the soul or the existential pain. You know what I mean? They're not actually, they're stuck into this little tiny box. You got all this talent, absolutely. The musicians have never been better. Got all this talent. And it's just being sucked into this black metal box of mediocrity. And, how many minor chords can you trem pick for half an hour? Yeah, so that's why I go hard at black metal. It's because they've ruined the underground, the gold standard. There's no underground anymore. Obviously, the internet helps that because now nothing is, I've talked about it at length on my channel where the seedy bars have gone in downtown. So there's not a lot of places to play. So that was more, there's back in the day, the underground was tape trading. You'd send tapes, demos of your friends' bands. You'd receive demos in, you'd collect the demos. Then you send them to somebody in Germany. They'd send you some creator and you say, holy shit, what's this? I think Whiplash is something that I got from a friend on a tape, the band Whiplash. And that was the underground where it was word of mouth. It was fanzines, making your own fanzines. It was going to gigs, finding out about things, even looking at how people look in the street. Like there's some people before Slipknot, Wait and Bleed came out. I saw a guy wearing practically the overalls and the mask and the rest of it. And I asked him about it. And he told me, this is this band called Slipknot. You should check them out. I checked them out. And then as I was checking them out, Wait and Bleed blew up. So that was kind of what was going on before you knew about even MTV and that type of thing. The Headbangers Ball, you had Friday rock shows, all these things which you would get information on. Now there's no underground because of the internet, because you can search for everything. I've searched for, there's a really good channel called Rip Off Records, and that has unlimited amount of hardcore punk noise bands that you have not heard. You haven't heard them. I was listening to a band called Tit, and Tit were fucking amazing. I liked it because the girl that was singing didn't know how to do breath control. She didn't know that she was literally destroying her vocals the way she was singing. She wouldn't be able to play a tour singing like that. But I like that. I like the passion. I like the she hasn't been on YouTube learning how to sing and how to preserve your voice. It was just fucking this ratty ass bitch going at it with grabbing a microphone, and I could hear how janky it was without it being pretentious, And obviously they didn't do anything. I even contacted them. I wanted to have a t-shirt and everything because I was so moved by this band called Tit, and it was so fun. So there's good stuff out there, right? And again, it's the hardcore scene is probably the best scene right now when it comes to a little bit of excitement, because at least it is a bit warts and all, and at least there are more basement gigs going on and that type of thing. Like the band I mentioned earlier, a band called Gel, female fronted band that I really like because the drummer and the guitars are really driving. I really like the way the drummer, at first I thought it was a drum machine, but then when I watched him live online, he was legit, hitting it hard, hitting it fast, and the drive was real. So yeah, so that's why I go at black metal so hard, is because they killed the underground, the gold standard. it just became one amorphous blob of black and white. Nothing popped out. No bands, you know. Everybody in the underground, they were either trying to be as technical as possible, the prolifery stuff and prolifery. There you go. And or they're trying to be as extreme as possible, as dark as possible, or they're trying to be as polished and skillful as possible, or there's all that stuff in the middle, which kind of anthemic, cheesy, European, symphonic metal, and that's never been my cup of tea. But I guess these are the scenes that are popping. So that's why I go up black metal, because you fucking killed metal. You killed the underground. Everybody became each other, and the amount of talent, and God knows how many good songs have been lost because of the rules of you have to make it black metal. It has to be drum picking, has to be anguish screaming, has to be blast beats, and then maybe tack on something onto it like jazz, ooh, or rap. Oh, that's dark. Or, fucking, what else is going on now? I've noticed there's a lot of EDM black metal, obviously, but the funk fucking black metal is like, oh, give me a break. They're just bolting on another genre onto black metal and go, ooh, aren't I great? No. All right. Awful take. Here we go. Black metal stripped down is literally folk with classical influence. It's nothing like Pone. Oh, they talking to somebody else? That's kind of cool. Yeah. Black metal stripped down. When you do strip down black metal, the battery and the hellhammer and that type of thing, that's when it was interesting. It did, honestly, the second wave of black metal with Mayhem and everything, it was only interesting. Nobody had heard of Mayhem until the headlines about things which weren't music. Nobody gave a fuck. In fact, somebody in the underground was telling me that at the time, before the news broke about the church burnings and the murders and the rest of it, before that, you could find Mayhem albums in Europe in the bargain bin, like 10 at a time. So wherever he was taking them, sometimes they'd obviously send them out to these record stores and they couldn't sell them, and they'd be in bargain bins. That's what they were doing, just like the average band that released back in the day. That happened with most of them. But then the news came, and honestly, there still wasn't that much hype about them. After the Kerrang headlines of Mayhem, church burnings, murder, suicide, all that, there still wasn't anything going on until the internet really took off. Dial-up, I think it was around the dial-up time that this was actually happening, and Kerrang maybe a bit earlier. I can't even remember. But I remember it happening, and it was a blip. And then the internet, the infamy of the internet, started spreading black metal hype. It was the internet. And then the documentaries came out and lied about it. The documentaries pretended that all these black metal cats were dark and brooding and the rest of it, and really intelligent, and they were basically, it was like a Lifetime movie, of like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing, right? Of how that nerd has been sexualized, and it's more fantastical than it actually was, which was a bunch of copycat teenagers, basically mental illness, and they're only huge because of the controversy, not because of the music. The music was okay. It was pretty good, but it wasn't the level that they're worshipped. They're worshipped, and it's ruined the underground anyway. So let's have a look at chat. I think a lot of my subs know my opinion on black metal because I loved it. I had Hammer t-shirts. I was the biggest Celtic Frost fan, and that was great. The Bathory, honestly, I didn't really love Bathory. Venom, they were kind of more like a little bit jokey in Britain, when it came to the scene. When they first came out, they were kind of scary to the people that were, because it was new wave of British heavy metal was just starting then, you know. So it's like they were a bit scary if you didn't know about it. You know, if you were some Mildred, hey Mildred, what are these guys doing with a Satan? You know, it was like, oops, bang. So yeah, the underground, the underground. We're gonna have to find a new name for it because there is no underground. I don't know. Let's have a look at chat. What are you guys up to? Death, rap, and jazz influencing metal. Yeah. It wasn't black metal, it was marketing. I don't know, it was actually a virus. The hype spread very slowly like a virus until you get the movies being made and you know the documentaries and that type of thing. So it was a slow creep, but the creep kept on going and going and going and going, and now it's mainstream. So whoop, don't do that. Yeah, speaking of black metal, so now it's mainstream. There's actually black metal. I think is just as listened to as whatever young bands in the mainstream are pushing in numbers probably on Spotify. I might be wrong about that, but you know when it comes to actual metal fans, I would say black metal fans are probably like the K-pop of music. That's how many there are. They are legion. I'll go through the comments later. I'm having a bit of a rant. I'm just glad that the volume seems to be all right. Black metal was born from thrash. It was actually black metal kind of predates thrash. Believe it or not, Welcome to Hell I think was the same year Back in Black came out with AC/DC. So they were kind of like hand in hand. That's how fucking. Because I'm 51, right? Imagine listening to black metal from the days where Back in Black came out to now. And you have people telling me in the comments, yeah, but what about blah, 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 blah. There was like the comment that had the most likes on my anti-black metal video said, oh, what about ABC band? So I think, okay, I'll give him a chance. I'll have a look. The first thing that comes up, right? The first thing, through the forest with their armor, frozen lakes. Straight away, right? And then the first thing that happens, tram picking, blast beats, and anguish screams. I'm like, you bitches, you stinking filthy fucking. You didn't even watch. You just looked at my headline. Because if you had watched how many times I take the piss out of blast beats, tram picking, and anguish screams, the last thing you would have done is suggest that band to me. So and that one gets the most likes. So it's like, welcome to hell. Battery is very hit and miss. Yes, they are. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, most of the audience in metal, 90% of the people are men. Even in massive venues, kind of weird. Girls like pink shit. Yeah, it's yeah, Sausage Fest. It's always been really, especially going back to the days with the origins of black metal with Venom and Welcome to Hell. There's back then there was like, think about let's go extreme. Who was knocking around then? Really early Iron Maiden were knocking around with Diano. And talk about Sausage Fest, man. I'd say there were more women in biker clubs back then than there was in an Iron Maiden gig. It's probably still kind of like that. You get a lot of e-girls like not pretending, but they are like there's so few of them that they can be a 6 out of 10 and they get in loads of views because they like specific bands, you know. So it's Sausage Fest. The thing that really flipped the switch was hair metal, you know, Whitesnake, that era, that a lot of girls came into it with Bon Jovi and that era. There was a lot of girls in it, and a lot of girls came in to the scene after that with grunge, because grunge, even though it was sensitive, it was fronted by gorgeous golden gods like Soundgarden, and Nirvana and Pearl Jam. How hot was he when he was 20? Crooning away, melting bitches' vaginas. So yeah, and then I think new metal kind of had quite a few that era. Then after that was really emo and screamo. There was still emo girls kind of after that. As soon as the nerds got hold of the DAWs, as soon as the guitarists took over, as soon as was it deathcore, metalcore, and melodic death metal, and at the gates, all that type of stuff started coming in. Girls were like, "No, yeah, I'm good. See ya," and we back to Sausage Fest land. So right now, you are my Valhalla sausages. There are no girls going to say hi in the chat, all right? Because we're men. We're just simple men. Like to make loud noises. Let's make loud noises. All right. Black metal was born from thrash. Yeah, it was kind of predates it a little bit. Let's go through the chats. All right, I'll go and answer all the chats that I have up here. Varg is a chode, good riddance. I think Varg is mental, but I don't want him to be cancelled. I think you should not be cancelled over whatever. I think you're allowed to have the wrong opinion. I believe in his freedom of speech, even though he's what he is, I don't like him. You always have to say that, right? Because I don't, I don't like this band, but it's Varg says drink your chocolate milk to stay healthy. So, drink your vitamins, eat your vegetables. Mayhem is still good. Were they ever? They were all right. Dark Throne were the best 90s black metal band. I hard to disagree with that. Hard to disagree. I've done a video on death on those back in the day. Dark Throne were, at least I believed them. There was some rumors that they sped up tape. That he wasn't actually playing drums that fast and guitar that fast. But yeah, I just think he's metal rather than. I think he loves the scene. He's not just an edgy fucking, I don't know. Yeah, he makes me laugh anyway. Scorpions invented black metal. Down to Gorky Park. I tell you what, early Scorpions. So they were kind of groovy. Kronos, yeah, he's the man. Dark Throne. The problem with them is how ingenuine they are. They went from death metal to black metal at the height of its popularity to retro thrash speed metal when that became trendy. Didn't they all? There's you can argue that, but if they had stayed, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Actually, say Dark Throne. I'm getting them mixed up. Dark Throne. I'm not a fan of Dark Throne. Who is my God, I'm having a mind blank. Who am I thinking of? Abbott's band. Yeah, not Dark Throne. Dark Throne were the copycats. The copycats copycat. It's been a long day. Oh, I need your reaction to this take. Black metal in marketing and fan base building strategic formats is identical to porn. Yeah, porn did start off in the underground, I guess. Black metal was in a counter to death metal, which they thought had become mainstream. That's actually wrong. The second, the second wave of black metal did that. Original black metal was basically bands like Hellhammer and Venom trying to be faster than Motorhead and that type of thing. So that's what the black metal was born out of, trying to go faster, harder, dirtier, more speed, more tits, more full speed ahead. That's where black metal. I respected that, and that's what I was into. I was like, fuck yeah, go. And then when thrash came along and got very technical, and the Morrison sound from the Florida sound, uh, that that was what the hipsters in Mayhem and Birdsome, that's what same thing, but that's what they reacted to try and go, oh, we're going to go back to copying something else. How is that cred when you're copying Bathory? Yeah, okay. Let's see what's going on. When I was in middle school, people asked me, was I satanic because I had AC/DC shirt? You should just say yes. Thanks for being a metal historian, Owen. Oh, thank you. It's moving. The chat's moving pretty quick. Color Haze. Color Haze. Amazing. Don't know about that band. There's a band called Possessed. Yes. They were my first exposure to death and black metal. Yeah. Possessed. Yeah, that's a original heavy ass band. Surf rock talks about going to the beach somewhere and surfing, whereas black metal talks about Satan and horror themes. Yeah, they go to the frozen lake to howl at the moon. Possessed Seven Churches is required listening. Correct. I didn't like it. I didn't like when I first heard it because I was into technical, and that was a bit too gonzo all ahead. I respect it. I respect it for its actual. It was kind of a dark, scary. I respected that aspect of it for the time. Grunge arguably killed rock, even though I love grunge. Grunge made it long in the tooth, and it made after it started spinning its wheels, where you get Days of the New, people like that, who actually Days of the New, I used to scoff at them until I saw them live at their peak before he went down a drug haze. And god damn, live Days of the New, holy shit, it surprised me. I've had that a few times, only a handful of times, where bands which I thought were completely lame, and then I see him live, and I was like, holy shit, talented band, talented guy. He was with this bald guitarist on the other guitar. It was like phenomenal. I was like, and they had girls dancing in cages. I was like, okay, I'm on board. But yeah, he's had the gnarl, the yardle voice, the nasal thing, which was that kind of made rock uncool after it carried on going and going and going. And then metal, usually what happens is an overcorrection, and it overcorrected into crotch grabbing new metal, and that was kind of more fun than the dark, brooding, introspective, respect old woman grunge. And then new metal was grabbing his crotch and humping cameras, and it brought a lot of jocks into it. And then girls aren't really into the jock life culture when it comes to gigs anyway. So funnily enough, because I've seen some mosh pits, I've seen some absolute brutal. I've had my face fucking busted apart in the Bristol beer cellar. Who was it? It was Obituary. Within the first few seconds of Obituary, we're opening for Creator, and you've probably heard about European and British mosh pits. It was insane. I ended up in the hospital, but new metal era had the jocks, right? And you had some serious fucking 6'5" football players that were listening to this shit in the locker room. Holy shit! Tell you what, seeing seeing the new metal fans in the mosh pit up against the usual giant Mexicans that you see in America. Holy shit, there were some wars. Even I was like, I could handle myself in the pit, right? But sometimes I was like, with the new metal, you'd think I was used to, thrash things and death metal things and grindcore pits, but new metal, it was like a hardcore pit, man. Because you got a lot of steroids in there. When they started getting going, it wasn't off on, but when he did, watch out for those fucking football players, man. Metalheads and nerds, fucking yeah, understatement. The nerds have killed. See all this bullshit, all my fancy things. I know how to. Well, this is my first stream, so who knows how good this is going to go. But we all know how to do the DAW. We all know how to record guitars. We've all got our VSTs. We need life experience. We need to be sweating in a room with the savages making noise together, making something, the Gestalt entity that's better than just me to a fucking metronome. Yeah. The vast majority of producers and guitarists have killed rock and metal. No, it's not a community thing. It's he who has the shiniest pedal board wins, and it's fucking right. Don't get me started on metalheads and nerds. Not a black metal listener. Agalloch is great. Fuck metal. I can't anymore. Go back to fundamentals, go back to the roots. I agree. Garage. Get back to the garage. I mean, you still had really technical metal. A lot of it wasn't, to be honest. A lot like Metallica speeding up tape, things like that. Is like there was a lot of tricks, a lot of gated snares, and it wasn't all just some guys in a room getting mic'd up. But the things that actually really connect. Rage Against the Machine, they get the piss taken out of them for being like corporatist woke, is what I call them. But that album was mostly them in a room with their friends. The biggest, best album that they've done, which they haven't got anywhere near recreating. The one that launched them, that was them in a room. And a lot of the classics, the bones at least, were a band playing together. Not cut, paste. Fuck that. It's been done. Dark Throne, yeah. That's what I call them. I call Dark Throne, because they started off as technical thrash band. They were that almost mellow death. And then as soon as the mayhem virus started, they started getting taken the piss out of by their hipster true cult black metal friends. Then they went, oh, we're black metal now. Blast beats in the forest. Dark Throne. Varg remains 16 years old mentally. Yeah. I don't want to talk about Varg all the time. He is I'm not going to talk about Varg. He's boring, to be honestly. It's the hero worship that he gets for the basic things, basic opinions. His opinions are very still student like, as if $10. Did I get my first super chat? I don't know if you did. It's from Big Head, and he wants me to listen to Color here, so let me just actually copy that one. I'll check that out later. German engineered sound. I haven't heard them. Usually I'm saying, oh yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah, I'll check them out. Panzerfaust. Sound like Krusty the Clown. Dark Throne may copy people, but at least they tend to have interesting riffs. Yeah, but look, interesting riffs with Dark Throne, but some of the fucking guitarists that are in my Facebook group that you guys chatting right now, some of the riffs you guys come up with are fucking amazing. It's from the forum days. How good were some of these guitarists that we'd be learning how to use the DAW together, and we'd be uploading, oh, here's my warehouse speaker, blah blah blah, and I'd use some of the riffs, and they're fucking amazing. So it's not just about riffs, you know. It's about choruses that you can swing your beer to. It's about hooks. It's about being moreish. Something. Why do people want to listen to No One Knows? You know what I mean? So it's like, why do people carry on listening to Back in Black? The moorishness, you know? So it's not just about riffs. As a guitarist, I fucking admit that it's me. I am the poster child for the type of person that ruined rock and metal. I was on the forums. I was telling people you had to use an SM57 and a Vintage 30 to sound good. I was the one saying, oh, these strings suck. These pickups are better. You know what I mean? Than it all became about gear and technical ability, you know? So it's like, we ruined it. So that's what I'm trying to do is on my channel, is try and fix it. Because I can play, man. And I wasted my best years riffs and being technical when I should have been really trying to write songs that connect with people, that connect with me, you know? First wave of black metal and death metal were almost identical, very much rooted in thrash. First wave of black metal, I don't know, man. They kind of come out similar times. I think what you're saying is similar to what I said earlier about Venom trying to be basically a faster Motorhead, and Metallica were also trying to be a faster Motorhead. So there's a lot of all fucking from extreme guitar-based music and drums. Most of the rivers flow towards Motorhead when it comes to trying to be fast, and you know, the double bass and that type of thing. So when you say black metal and thrash, they kind of like it was the Motorhead thing trying to get, you know, I'm not just going to say one band, but they were massively influential on Hellhammer. You know, they were trying to be Tom G. Warrior actually started off with a bass, a Lemmy bass, the Rickenbacker. He started off on that because he wanted to be basically a faster, you know, it's Lemmy. So yeah, it's talking about that era is interesting. You make a good point, but it's kind of, I think everyone's trying to be, the Motorhead is the influence I would put out there as being proto thrash, proto black metal, you know? We often forget the importance hardcore punk had extreme metal. Amen. Yeah. There's a lot of gonzo speed going on with the hardcore scene back in the day. Plus metalcore. The word metalcore comes from hardcore, the hardcore scene. The first time it was being used was in the late 80s for metalcore. But then metalcore becomes something completely different when, you know, Killswitch Engage and things like that. They kind of solidified what metalcore was as a genre, whereas no longer really linked in the hardcore roots, you know, in my opinion. But yeah, back in the hardcore punk days, some bands would be introduced on stage as metalcore. All right, so there's the black metal to porn. As uh, Ryan has been talking about, black metal has a lot in common with porn when it comes to influencing the young minds into what is reality versus fantasy. You know, so that's pretty funny. Even though it's not real and fantasy, black metal being dark and brutal is an image. Same for porn. Amen. Big heads really going on the color haze. Now I got to check them out. The riffs are tremendous on Seven Churches. Hmm. Isn't it? He possessed back in the day too. They were doing coke with Chuck Schuldiner way back in the day. Dude, I came back to my old account. Last I heard long ago, your arm and hand was really hurting badly. Can you play? I can. What happened was, I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me move this a little bit. Hopefully you can still hear me. If you look at this arm stretched out, you can see the muscle up here, right? If I stretch this one out, see how tiny this is compared to this one? So I had a major uh, issue with it. It's like a tennis elbow, but something happened with my tendon and I don't think the muscle rolled up. I just had a serious injury where I could barely move. I couldn't hold a coffee cup or the rest of it. But what I did, it happened. It lasted for 2 years. Lasted for 2 years, and it's still painful now on both. I got it on both arms, but one more than the other. So what I did, I went to the gym, and I refused to stop training. I trained the opposite muscle on the arm, and anything that I tweaked, because I have lower back issues. I have issues because I'm fucking 50. So I had issues with the tennis elbow. So what I did is I trained the muscles in my back. My back is kind of big, and the muscles in my arms that weren't affected. So it compensated. So now I can play. I could play before, but it was just really painful, and my speed was all messed up. But I think I looked at my app recently, and I've actually been to the gym 100 times this year. So I go 3 or 4 times a week. Um, so I'm actually like strong in the rest of it, but the injury is a lot better because I trained the opposite muscle. Because yeah, you can see the difference in size with one arm versus the other one. Crazy. So it's kind of like the. Does anyone know who? What's his name? Buzz. Uh, Never mind. So I can't play. Let's play. I've got an amp. I'm gonna have to mute my mic, and I'll turn on the guitar, and I'll show you. My hands are fucking cold though. So if you were in the chat earlier, I was talking about possibly doing a tone recreation on early Gary Moore, and also for Thin Lizzy era. So now I found out a very interesting thing where with Gary Moore, not Thin Lizzy, but with uh, was it Parisian Walkways, Pathways? What's the song called? With that, apparently the studio version is a Massa combo, and Massa combos there weren't many of them around back in the day. Obviously, live the biggest, the ones that get the most views and listens, I think, is the live version of Gary Moore on stage with Parisian Walkways, and that's a Marshall, and it has its famous greeny Les Paul, which has interesting things going on with the pickups. Pickup is backwards on the neck pickup. There is a magnet that's been installed the wrong way around after it was fixed, and now Kirk Hammett owns that guitar. So let's see if this works. You won't be able to see my guitar. Maybe I'll stand up. So I am going to mute and see if, because I got a master combo right there. The sound is going to be in the room, and I got a mic in the back of the room. So, it's not going to sound great. But let's see if I can get Gary Moore up in this bitch. Let us edit the mic. So I should go quiet, and then I'll turn on the room mics. Can you hear me? Could you hear that at all? Or was it just me like playing with nothing happening? My chat has disappeared. Did anyone hear that? Was there any actual guitar noise? So I might have muted it. do, do, do. Can you hear me now? So nobody can hear me. No audio. Isn't that great? I think I know what happened. I think I know what happened. Hold on. We can use this stream as a test run to try and get this setup going. So bear with me, my sausages. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo desktop audio. So let's have a look. Guitar and mic was muted. That might be a good thing. All right. Round 2. All right, kids, I need some feedback of when I start playing. Just say, yes, you can hear the guitar. So I need to see lots of yeses. I'm going to mute my mic. Can you hear me? So what that was going on there, I'm just going to test out to see if I could do live streams of tone recreations. So me butchering poor Gary Moore. So obviously I'll practice more and I'll get a better tone. But apparently Parisian Walkways was a Mesa Boogie combo, that solo along with the Les Paul. But I have to dig a bit deeper to double check. But the live versions are all Marshalls, so that type of thing. So yeah, maybe we could do some hybrid ones. So if you have any suggestions of stuff that I can recreate live, because we got the amps down there, got lots of different. There's Fender, Marshall, got the goods, bro. Let's see. Did that sound alright? Did that was just two mics in a room. Obviously, it's not ideal. It'll be better when I have an isolated cabinet somewhere else. I can like put maybe a speaker cab through the ceiling or whatever into a different room. But that's in the same room as me, so it's kind of like not ideal. So you can hear the pick noise. Bip boo. So thanks for sticking with me as we work out the bugs and the slugs. You should ask Tone King. He gets great tone in the streams, and he's always cool handing out advice. Tone King, that's old school, man. I haven't seen his streams for a while. I'm not sure if I got unsubscribed or whatever, but I remember he brought out like a music video, and it was like him with his leather jacket and his his wife or something in it and everything. And I thought, God damn, it's so like nice. It's so nice to see, people my age just doing rock, and not fucking trying to pretend to be something that they aren't. It was great because he's got some swagger, man. I respect that. The old dog. It's a shame about these comments not really refreshing in my chat. Kind of sucks. So it was good tone. Could you hear me good? That's good. A little bit of a secret. The setup I did, I thought since I'm limited, what I did was the old Motley Crue trick, where one side of the guitar was close mic'd, and the other side was at the back of the room. So that's a old McMars trick, which makes it just if you're doing one track, you know how nasally and annoying one track of guitars can sound when it's just the close mic. They sound terrible on their own usually. So I wanted to avoid that. So we'll chip away at it, and between chat, because this is early days with live streaming. I think we could get some. It might actually be a good exercise to see how we can get good live tone on the fly with mics and moving them around and different. Who knows if this room might have a sweet spot. It's not a bad shaped room. It's a smallish room, but the shape on it is it's not a box like my old one. So we might get some results in here. I've got a really old mic on the close mic in. It's kind of I'll show you. Hold on. Look at this thing. Welcome to the BBC. Old school. It's a quarter-inch jack. It's not even like XLR. It's a Unidyne B. What is it? Model. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because this is a rare bird that you've probably never seen before. Gotta be. I am a hipster. So annoying. Okay, so all my lights are failing because they're battery run. So that's fun. So my lights are failing. The chat bot is failing. I gotta look at my phone like an old person. Good tone. This is circle tone. Hey, thank you. Nicely done. I see you flexing. You ain't seen flexing, bitch. The Darkness. That would be a cool one. Little. The Darkness. Yeah, that's a riffage, man. The singer for The Darkness is doing a lot of videos, like a lot. I think he's I can't say that. I think he's changed one addiction for another because he was like rock and roll, drugs, sex, and a lot of booze. So now that he's sober, obviously he's been twiddling his thumbs, and he is the singer. I forgot his name. Why don't I know his name? I should. But the singer is, he's seen and done it all when it comes to rock and metal, and on the insider, the good stuff too, the industry stuff. So it's interesting watching his views on music and new music and old. He kind of dissects old songs of why they're so good. Stuff like Supergrass, which a lot of the Americans wouldn't have known apart from "We Are Young, We Are Free." That song, they'll know that one. But initially, when Supergrass came out, they were like mods. I say copycats, right? The Who copycat, because they were really influenced by the Who. But if you're gonna copy someone, like Metallica copied Motorhead, right? They thought they were copying it, but they went faster. They sounded nothing like Motorhead. That's what I like. So, Supergrass didn't sound like the Who. They sounded like mods, trying to, a lot of Who influences, especially on the bass and the drums. But when you can have your influences and be part of that scene and be your own thing on the side, that's what made Metallica great. That's what launched black metal. Because even though Welcome to Hell and everything was them trying to be faster than Motorhead, they sound nothing like them because they didn't have the ability. So it was happy accidents. So yeah. Glug glug. Let's have a look at the chats. It's a shame that this doesn't work very well when it comes to, because I should be just looking at your chats popping up as I'm sitting here, and it's a lot of old comments here. So it would be nice to be reacting to you and saying hi and calling out your names and the rest of it. But it's a Streamlab software sucks. Yeah, the Tone King was cringy. That's what I like about it, man. Yeah, the Tone King music video was like, I liked it because it got a reaction out of me. Because when I'm seeing him with his swagger, fuck, I love swagger, right? Because he does it. He's got that swagger. He gets so much hate from comments and saying, "Oh, this is cringe, this is that, and the other," but it just rolls off his back because he's a badass. I love it. Guitar was right channel bias. Yeah, that was the with my guitar playing earlier. It was balanced to one side more. It was more focused on one side than the other. The other side was the room, so that's what that was. So it was a little bit of that. Dustin Hawkins, or was it Justin Hawkins? That is the singer of the Darkness. Yeah, I love his channel. He's great, good people. He's a little bit. I would like him to talk more shit, because I think he does it in a roundabout way. I'd like him to just really be a bit more straight, but he knows, like, I think he knows the impact and negativity and that type of thing, because his band got a lot of that. He's a lot of haters, So I think that he doesn't want to become what hated him, you know. So I can understand. But I was just talking about the mods and Flapper Girl Hype. Yeah, with mods, that's a scene that I wouldn't mind seeing coming back. The mod scene, the mod music, like the Lambrettas and some of the Small Faces and the Who and that type of thing. Because then, when you think about the mod scene, a lot of the bands didn't sound like each other. They were just part of more of a culture, more of a fashion aspect. So even though bands were called mod, you know, some of them, like even Madness, were thrown in the mod, even though they were ska. Was it the second phase of ska? Madness got thrown in with the mods as well, and I was like, yeah, why not? But yeah, a little bit of mod music coming back. I'm surprised that there hasn't been a lot of bands that get influenced more by, you know, the Who and that type of thing. So yeah. Okay, live chat has moved. That's great. Sorry for the radio silence. So yeah, so here we are, me and you sausages, chops in about metal and rock, and what are we? What am I trying to accomplish? I just want, like I said, I'm not sure how long some of you guys have been in chat, but I want to everybody. I talked about how good you lot are on at guitar, and I talked about how good that the guys on the forums used to be. The potential was all there, but we were all going down this DAW rabbit hole. We were all self-releasing. Nobody's listening to it. Nobody's connecting with it. I want to be just a voice. There's not many voices out there that says that it's guitarist's fault. That it's guitarist's fault that rock and metal is falling off a cliff when it comes to young new bands. You know, and there's a lot of copycat bands. That's the best we gotta put up with right now. There's a lot of copycats in the hardcore scene. There's a lot of copycats in especially deathcore. Jesus Christ, we're gonna have to put up, I think, with another 2 years of deathcore spinning its wheels. And there's few scenes that come and go. Um, you know, so it's like, what's next? Please suggest new young bands in the comments. You know, not 40 somethings, because it's a lot of you don't realize how old a lot of these bands are, like Bring Me the Horizon, things like that. They're getting on now. I mean, Bring Me the Horizon were around in the CD era, you know. So, all right, chaps, you've been great. I'm going to go and watch UFC. No spoilers in the chat. You guys are awesome. It's been a while. It's been a couple of months. There's been a few reasons, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, it's all good. I'm back. Maybe with a few more live streams. Usually, I think I'm going to start streaming at night. Around, it's Eastern USA time here, probably around 9 or 10 ish Eastern time. During the week, every other night maybe I'll be streaming. So hope to see you here. Say hi, leave a comment, be nice, and sorry about not hearing my guitar for the first few wank sessions, but you know, brand new stream. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. Have a good one, chaps. Circle of Tone.